Coco Gauff gets real. Inspiring truths about being a black woman in sports plus advice for the next generation. Coco Gauff has never been just a tennis player. From the moment she stepped onto grass courts of Wimbledon as a fearless 15-year-old, the world could sense something different. Not just talent, although her talent was unmistakable, but a voice, a presence, a young black woman who understood, even early on, that sports is not only about trophies and titles. It is also about identity, visibility, responsibility, and truth. In a world that often asks athletes to just play and stay silent, Coco Gauff has chosen honesty. She speaks openly about pressure, race, expectations, confidence, and the complicated journey of growing up in the spotlight. Her story is not polished perfection. It is real, layered, and deeply inspiring. This is the story of Coco Gauff getting real, about being a black woman in sports, about navigating fame at a young age, and about the advice she offers to the next generation daring to dream. Growing up different and knowing it early, Coco Gauff did not grow up unaware of her difference. As a black girl entering a sport historically dominated by wealth, privilege, and limited diversity, she learned early that tennis would not always feel welcoming. Courts were quiet places where eyes followed her movements closely, not always with admiration, but with judgment. She noticed it in subtle ways. The surprise when she won, the disbelief when she spoke confidently, the way her success was sometimes framed as unexpected. While other young players were celebrated as prodigies, Coco often felt she had to prove she belonged. Yet, instead of shrinking under that pressure, she leaned into it. "I know who I am," she has said in various forms. And that self-awareness became her armor. Being different did not weaken her. It shaped her strength, the weight of representation. For Coco Gauff, winning has never been just personal. Every match carries invisible weight. The knowledge that millions of young black girls are watching, hoping, believing. Representation matters. And Coco understands that deeply. When she walks onto the court with her natural hair, her confidence, and her unapologetic identity, she is doing more than competing. She is challenging stereotypes. She is rewriting narratives about what a tennis champion looks like. But representation also comes with pressure. As a black woman, Coco often faces expectations that go beyond performance. She is expected to speak perfectly, act maturely, represent an entire community, and never make mistakes. One misstep can feel amplified. One loss can be overanalyzed. Still, she chooses to show up fully. Because silence, she believes, costs more than honesty. Speaking out when it's uncomfortable. Coco Gauff is not afraid of uncomfortable conversations. She has spoken about racial injustice, social inequality, and emotional toll of seeing violence against black communities, especially while competing on a global stage. At times, critics have questioned why she speaks up. Her answer is simple: because she can, and because she must. Coco does not view her platform as a burden. She sees it as a responsibility. She knows that athletes, especially young, successful ones, have influence. And influence, when used with intention, can inspire change. She is careful, thoughtful, and informed. She does not speak for attention. She speaks for truth. That courage, to use her voice when it would be easy to stay quiet, is one of her greatest victories. Confidence without apology. One of the most powerful lessons Coco Gauff teaches is confidence without apology. As a black woman, confidence is often misunderstood. When she is assertive, some call it arrogance. When she believes in herself, others say she is too bold. But Coco has learned not to dim her light, to make others comfortable. She celebrates her wins. She acknowledges her talent. She speaks positively about herself. And she refuses to apologize for it. Confidence, for Coco, is not about ego. It is about survival. In a world that constantly questions your worth, believing in yourself is an act of resistance. She encourages young athletes, especially girls of color, to own their confidence. You don't have to be smaller to be accepted, her journey seems to say. You don't have to be quieter to belong. The mental battle behind the matches. Behind Coco Gauff's powerful forehand and relentless defense is a young woman who openly acknowledges the mental battles of professional sports. She talks about anxiety, about self-doubt, about the pressure of expectations. For years, people saw only the highlight reels. But Coco has helped normalize the reality that even champions struggle internally. She has lost matches she was expected to win. She has faced criticism after defeats. And she has admitted that sometimes the hardest opponent is her own mind. By speaking about mental health, Coco breaks another barrier, especially in communities where emotional vulnerability is often discouraged. Her honesty sends a powerful message. Strength and sensitivity can coexist. Learning from legends, becoming her own self. Coco Gauff grew up idolizing Serena and Venus Williams, two women who transformed tennis forever. Their influence on her is undeniable. But Coco is clear about one thing. She is not a copy. She respects the legends, but she is building her own identity. Her game is different. Her personality is different. Her journey is uniquely hers. This distinction matters. Too often, black athletes are compared endlessly to those who came before them, as if there's room for only one story. Coco rejects that limitation. She honors the past while shaping the future, and in doing so, she becomes proof that greatness does not have to look the same every time. Advice to the next generation: dream loudly. When Coco Gauff speaks to young athletes, her advice is direct and heartfelt. First, dream loudly. Don't water down your goals to sound realistic. Don't hide your ambition. Big dreams require bold belief. Second, be patient with yourself. Growth is not linear. Losses are not failures. They are lessons. Even the greatest champions stumble. Third, protect your identity. The world will try to define you. Decide who you are before it does. Fourth, use your voice. You don't need permission to care about more than sports. You don't need approval to stand for what's right. And finally, remember why you started. In moment of pressure, return to the joy that first drew you to the game. More than a champion. Coco Gauff's legacy will not be measured only by Grand Slam titles or rankings. It will be measured by impact, by the young black girl who picks up a racket and feels seen, by the teenager who learns that confidence is not something to apologize for, by the athlete who realizes that success and activism can coexist. Coco is showing the world that greatness is not just about winning. It's about integrity, courage, and authenticity. She is still young. Her story is still unfolding. But one thing is already clear. Coco Gauff is not just playing the game. She is changing it by being real. And in doing so, she is inspiring a generation to believe not only in victory, but in themselves. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.